Kathy Bullock here, and we are on day number 9 of our 10-day challenge. And so today we are going to explore everything designs. And the one thing that I really want to maybe focus on for you guys is how about we do a listing presentation. We'll kind of show you the ins and outs of that, and then we'll throw together maybe a flyer and a social post. So I'm just kind of letting you know that this video may be a little bit longer than the typical, only because it's a little bit more detailed. So anyways, we'll jump right in. Logged into agent.kw.com, and we are going to come over to designs. And you will see these are your design templates, and then you have everything else up here on top. So if you want to, if you've made social posts, you can actually go into that. You can see your social posts, the things that you have created to be able to print, all of your information for your agent site. So we are now, the way to create it actually is, I am going to come down here to the blue dot with the plus sign in it, and I'm going to click that. Now this is where you have to make a decision. Are you going to do something that is printable or something that is social? Okay? Social is giving you the templates to do anything on social media. You can also now import a PDF and work with a PDF here within Designs. So if you have a marketing piece that you really like, you can actually import it, and you can, you do have editing capabilities. They are somewhat limited. So just so you know that, but you can actually import it here and be able to work within it. So I'm going to first go into print, and I'm going to hit next. Now this is where all of the templates are going to actually come up, and this is where you can decide what you're going to make. Now most of these are in alphabetical order. There are numerous new designs here within in the templates, which is just fascinating to me. And you can also kind of now have the capabilities of making these smaller, so you can kind of go in, okay, what am I actually doing? Am I leadership? Is it business basics, which you have business cards and letterhead? Is it lead generation? These home value flyers and stuff are, I think they're just great. You have standard postcards also. You have some client love things, event invitations. You can make postcards, and you can also do flyers. Okay. Now the one that I want to go into is here in the, you'll see that I have the listing presentation here, and under buyer I have the buyer presentation. So let's go ahead and go into the listing presentation, because we have a huge focus on listings right now. And you have two choices. One is a little bit more techy, one is a little bit more traditional. I will say on this one, you do use a lot of ink. So if you are printing these on your home computer, might take a lot of ink. And then this one looks just as nice. Basically the same information. It's all about the look that you want. So let's go ahead and go into this one, and I'm going to hit use up in the right hand corner. And you're going to see it is going to bring in nothing on my actual page. Everything is over here on the left. Okay, so this is my templates page. To get these into the actual page, I do need to click on them. Okay, so if I want, maybe I want this to be my opening page, I'm literally just going to one-click it, and it brings it up. Now I can go through my entire list here, bringing in all of the pages that I think I want to have in my listing presentation. Okay, you do not have to bring everything in. This is what you choose to bring in is what you bring in. So once you have everything in that you want to come over, you can do a couple different things. Of course, I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to look at all of my pages. Now maybe I made a decision I didn't want this as my first page. Okay, maybe I made a decision I don't want a blank page as my first page. I can just come up in here, and it will, did you see what I did there? there's a box. Once you hover over the page, you'll get a drop down box. I can come in here and create page number 1. Okay, I can now go into my new page number 1 and I can start to edit this. So maybe I want this name to be different, and I can do that a couple different ways. I can actually come and highlight on it. I can double click it and you'll see I'll get a cursor. I can move my cursor down here and I can just start typing. Now another way to actually fix text that you want to change, I can also drag around. I can make it however I want it to look. I can come up here to the typewriter and go into it and change the last name. Okay, so it's basically how you want to go in and make the changes. Now I'm going to come down to the bottom and save the changes. So sorry, I should have given you all this stuff. So just a little review about everything that is actually up here. First thing when you come in, of course, you have your templates. You have your images. These are preloaded images that you have put in here. You basically do that from adding to your library down here. And you can delete items. You can also add in items just by clicking the plus sign. I can come down to my backgrounds and add in different backgrounds. I can also come up to my details. I can add my company details. I can add additional text. There's my images. I also have my logos. Okay, if I have certain icons that I like to use, I can also load those in here. And then I do have a branding kit. So you can actually come out here and choose colors that you like to use, and you can change them out. Now you do get a choice of 4 colors. So if I wanted to come and change this to a little bit darker, I could actually just play with it a little bit and hit apply. Okay, and it's changed that color for me. I can also add in fonts. So if I have a font that I really like to use, you can add, and you've downloaded it, you can add it in here and be able to use that. Okay. Also on images, you can come in here and there are images that I can pull down from Facebook. I can pull down from Facebook pages. I can pull down from Instagram, Google Drive, and Dropbox, or I can click here to upload my own. I can then come over to company images, come in here to the KW stock images, and you'll see there's a ton of images that you can replace things. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to replace pictures in just a moment. And then my library. I can come over to text. I can add text. There's different things. This is a little bit smaller, body text, subtitle, and then a title. I have banners that I can insert in here. Okay, you can see how all I did was click it. I could manipulate it a little bit, have it on there if I wanted to. And then I can come into company text. Here's an ownership. You can also edit this if you want to. Okay, I've actually added it into my page. Maybe it's a little bit large, and we'll fix that in just a minute. Now I can go into these folders and I can actually add a year or some percentages. Okay, so if I wanted to put a year on this, I definitely could. And then we'll come down to, and then of course I have my library. Can come down to logos. There are company logos, so you can go into KW, find all these KW. Just know that these are not going to keep you in compliance with your brokerage, because you do need to have the Atlanta Partners information on there. And then I can come back here, go into a labs. Maybe if you like to find the little labs dogs, that's where you can do that. I can go into the KW doing business as. Okay, this is what will be standard on most of these that you bring in. I can then go to miscellaneous. And the miscellaneous, they do have the realtor, equal housing, so you can insert all of those. And then down the last one here is your KW listing service. So you can actually come up here and you can search these by different things. This will take you out basically to the MLS system. And then this is where we're going to actually do a snapshot, which we can do it by postcard or by neighborhood. And we're going to do that in just a minute in this listing. Coming up across the top, this red KW will take you back out to your templates. Typically will not save the document that you are working on, so be very careful with that. You do have your file. You can save, check print quality, manage your bleed. You do have your back button and your forward button. If you've done something, you went back, you want to go back to it. And then this is previous versions, okay? Coming across the top here, you do have your title. And this is a step that gets missed a lot. And if it does, it still saves it. It's okay. It will just be a funny name, and you can always change the name. Then coming in, the ways that you can download it. You do have a share capabilities, and then you can just be done. You have fonts that are here. You have font sizes, the typewriter. This is an opacity. So let me get back into this. So if I want to come in here and maybe make this a little bit more opaque, you can see that it was really bright and now it's a little bit more opaque. I can come in and change the color. Bold, italic, underline, letter cases, bullet points, text alignment, and spacing. And then we come over here and you can actually transform. I can rotate things. I can arrange things. So this is really important if I want to send a picture to the back. Maybe I'm going to highlight my picture and I can come over here and say that I want to send it to the bottom or send it to the top, or I can just send it backwards, so then I can put text over the top of it. I would then need to bring my text to the front. Okay, so I could have my text. Oh, it didn't come over the top of it. Okay, so that's what the arranging is. There we go. Okay, so now I could actually put their name on their picture if they wanted to. And then I can also duplicate things. So maybe I just want to duplicate the name. That's how I'm going to do it. And then I have, if I want to remove it, I can do it that way. Okay, so now let's get into the actual, let's go ahead and just start fixing our new our new listing presentation that we have here. And get rid of all of my crazy things that I've put in here. So now I've moved Smith, so now I could actually move Smith back up, and I can change out this picture if I want to. So I'm going to come over to my images and I'm going to come to company, and maybe I want this picture instead. So really important to know, I can either use the image or I can actually replace the image. Now if it's a photo already, all you have to do is hit the replace and it will bring it in. Okay? If there is not a photo there automatically, maybe I want to use this picture also, you can see it's only letting me use the photo. Okay? So, and now we're gonna fix our logo. I'm gonna come over to logos. I'm gonna come up to my library and I'm going to replace it with mine and rearrange it a little bit. Now this is maybe too large. I can come up here and just make it smaller. I can change the font on it. I can move it around a little bit. Now you'll see it's going to do some built-in margins for you. So if I try and go too far to the right, my words start disappearing. So that's what helps you to know you're staying within the pages of this. Okay, so great. I've now done page number 1. Let's come into page number 2. And it is saving as you're going, which is always nice. So I can change this out if I want a different house. I can actually make this my photo if I wanted to, just by replacing, okay? And whatever else you want to do. Maybe you want to put some text in up here. I'm going to add some text, and maybe we'll do a subtitle. Now it's given me the words right here, and all I have to do is now click in it. Okay, maybe that's too big because I probably don't have a whole lot of room to go out. So I can just come in here, make it a little bit smaller, align it how I want. Again, moving on. I can do the same thing with this. So maybe you have a listing that you want to highlight and what you did marketing wise, or there's actually another page in here that you can come in and bring in all 4 pages, and maybe you want to make this page some of your past listings that you have had. You can go in and literally, we're going to pull them from KWLS. So let's go ahead and go into KWLS, and I'm going to come into listing, and I'm going to just start searching for the listing. And hit search. Okay, it's going to go out and find it. I'm going to select it. Now the great thing about this is it's going to bring in all of the photos that were on MLS along with all of the listing details. So it makes it a little bit easier to maybe remember some of this information. So first of all, I'm going to go out and I'm going to change out the photo, which I've highlighted the photo, coming over here and actually replacing it. Maybe I only want to change the property address. I can come down here and just change out the property address. Now, the one thing about all of the actual property information, which you can see here, I actually suggest that you come up and use the typewriter, and then you can just change the things that you actually need to change. That information will be over here, yet it's going to bring it in line by line, you know, and it just makes it a little bit more difficult. So this is the best way I have found to actually update this information. Okay, so we've updated this one. Now I'm going to come over here, and I can literally come back to my listings, and I can put in a different address. And find the house. Okay, again, I'm going to highlight the picture and replace the picture. Then I can come down, go to the listing details, and just replace the address. For some reason it doesn't want me to replace it. So if that ever happens, it's literally then just click it again, delete it. You can move this address up in there and change the properties on it. Okay. Most of this is all drag and drop. That's literally all you have to do. The great thing about this is if I didn't want this in there and I think I made a mistake, or I just double clicked on a whole bunch of different things, I do have a back button, which is always nice. Now the other thing I really want to show you in a listing presentation are these neighborhood snaps. So, and you can actually come in here and change all of this information to make it fit your listing presentation. And so my thought on this would always be an insertable page that you would always come and maybe fix and then insert into your listing. So let's come over here and make this snap. And I'm now going to come back up into the listings again, and I'm going to come over here to snapshots. Okay. Now I am going to either look by a neighborhood or by a postal code. The other day I couldn't get the postal code to work, so let's go ahead and see if we can make it work today. You just never know. Let's see if it gives us some results. No. So let's do, okay, so we were able to get 30097 to come up. Now we can see that this snap is in a long version. If you would rather just have the map or just something smaller, you can always use either one of these. But let me go ahead and bring this in and you'll see. So now this is showing me in the area code of 30097, the average listing price is this, average sold price is this. Just remember these are going to be skewed a little bit because we do have a couple neighborhoods within the 30097 that are higher priced. So just make sure you're pulling your information wisely. So then if we decided to come in and do it by neighborhood, I could come in and we'll do Sugarloaf. See if we can get that to come up. And there we go. Okay, so now I could actually come over, highlight that, and replace it with those numbers. Okay, and it's literally, you're looking at the neighborhood and you're placing it in there. Then I could come over here and just change these words, you know. And hit save. And then I can reduce it down a little bit. Okay, and then I can come down here, change these names. Again, one of the best ways to do this is if you double click in here, you can get your mouse to come up, or just coming back to the typewriter. And making sure that you're reading this pretty closely because there are sometimes some stats in here that you're going to want to update with your own personal stats, okay? Or stats around the actual property, maybe in that neighborhood. So this is really great because you can do it per neighborhood. And then you just literally can come down and, you know, a lot of these pages are going to be kind of a typical page that you may not have to do a lot of changing on. Now, if you're not being able to see the bottom of the page, you may just have to close down your pages just so you can see the bottom of the page. You can also reduce your view so that it makes it a little bit easier to see here. Okay, so we are all done, happy with what we have now. I'm now going to go ahead and I've saved it under my name. And a lot of times I just like to come up here and hit save again, just for kicks and giggles so I know I have it. And then I'm going to come over here to the download. And of course this is going to be a printed something. And so, and even if you're emailing this, we can hit get PDF, okay? And then I'm just going to do a start my download, and it's going to start the process and bring it up as an actual download, which is nice because then literally I can have it on my desktop, I can email it, I can print it, whatever I need to do with it, okay? So that is the listing presentation. And literally the buyer presentation is exactly the same way, okay? It looks basically the same. You have a little bit more classic and a little bit more modern. Now, the other thing that I really want to do real quick is let's create a flyer. Maybe you're going to do an open house. So let's go out and look at our open house. Now you can make door hangers, standard postcards, and for this example, we're going to go ahead and make a flyer. Okay, and right now there's two different templates in here. You can choose either one and you're going to update it with the information that you want. So I just clicked on it and hit the use button in the right hand corner. Okay, so again I'm going to come out to my listing. Okay, I'm going to go out and find the listing that I'm going to do the open house on. Coming out. One thing to know is make sure you are actually grabbing the right city. I have been known to grab wrong cities before. So just make sure you're grabbing it. It's going to bring in all of your listing information. Again, I'm going to click on the picture and replace the picture. Now, another thing that is really kind of cool, and I'm going to show it to you, is maybe I want this picture to be my entire background. So this button right here, you'll see that when I hover over it, it says use as background. So look what that does. So that can bring it in as the entire background. Once I click in it, I can come up and make it a little bit more opaque, so that now I can actually, if I want to move the box up for the open house, I can do all of that. So just knowing that this is totally up to you. This is all about making you look as professional as possible. Of course, I'm going to come out, change my logo. I'm going to come out and I can come back to my listing. Go to the listing details. I can grab the price. I may just want to delete this one, put this one in there. The address, I'm going to come up and replace the address. Maybe I want some different pictures down here in my photos, so we can come down and replace our photos. I can put all my other information in here, branding it to myself. Okay, and then your name. So that literally took us about a minute. All of this information can actually come over, so maybe you want all of the detail information from the listing. You can actually replace that also. So I'm going to just come down here. I have found the listing and I can hit replace. Maybe I need to edit it a little bit, spread it out a little bit, kind of whatever works best for you. Okay, now making sure you, again, come up here and save it. And then whatever you're wanting to do, whether you're wanting to download it, which this is the great thing about this program. I could actually now download this flyer and put it as a JPEG or a PNG and put it out on social media. I can also get a PDF and download it this way if I just want to print flyers and go door knocking. So that's the beauty of this system, is it's really all about how you want to work your business. So that's about all we have time for today. I will be doing some more videos that are all about designs and more in-depth features, but wanted to get you starting so you can get out there and get some listings. Hope you are having a great day, and please reach out if I can help you in any way.